breaking news. Joe Budden caught butt naked, cheeks out, up at his crib. He said he was sleepwalking, but he checking doors. Sit back, watch this whole joint. Let's start this program. All right. You know, there's Unique Mecca audio, man. This is about Joe Budden. So let me run this down and, you know, let me let the ball alert do their thing and then I'm going to do my thing. But check it out, right? Make sure you subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. It's a new YouTube channel. I'm going to put all my prison stories over there. Subscribe at Mecca Audio TV. It's going to be a mixture of everything. Show some love. That's all we ask in a day. But let's see what's going on with the world famous Joe Budden. All right.
This just in on Baller Alert. Joe Budden charged after naked incident in Edgewater, New Jersey. X, formerly known as Twitter, is buzzing after a viral tweet revealed that Joseph Budden Jr., known as Joe Budden, age 44, was charged with lewdness following an unusual incident earlier this month. On December 29, 2024, a Twitter account by the name The October Film posted a screenshot of Budden's arrest record with the caption, "Breaking news, at Joe Budden has a court date on January 16th for disorderly lewdness, a charge related to sexual misconduct or indecency in public. He previously claimed the JBP had to relocate for recording in a residential building, but there seems to be more to the story. Stay tuned." The post quickly gained traction. On December 30th, 2024, the Edgewater Police Department issued a press release providing details of the December 4th event. According to the statement, officers were called to an Edgewater apartment complex at approximately 7:21 a.m. after a resident reported a disturbing incident. The caller, who was alerted by their doorbell camera, saw their neighbor, identified as Joe Budden Jr., standing completely naked outside their apartment door. The video allegedly shows Budden attempting to enter a code into the resident's door keypad multiple times before retreating to his own apartment across the hall. Following an investigation, Budden Jr. was charged with lewdness, a disorderly persons offense under New Jersey law, 2C 144A. Edgewater Police Chief Martin emphasized in the release, "These charges are merely accusations, and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt." Joe.
Yeah, so that's what's happening with Joe Budden, man. Let's get to this because this is breaking news. So we're gonna get this thing set up right. Check it out, right? Joe Budden is charged after being naked in Edgewater, New Jersey. Y'all already know Edgewater, they're shooting out there. Now they got sleepwalking. Hey, you know, that's what he calls it. Now, you know, he's innocent until proven guilty, so that's what we're gonna go with. Joe Budden was sleepwalking and he butt naked in the hallway. They say he was checking somebody's door and all this. But let me just go through the whole commentary so you understand. A neighbor captures footage of Joe Budden attempting to enter another neighbor's apartment. X, formerly known as Twitter, is buzzing after a viral tweet revealed that Joseph Budden Jr., known as Joe Budden 44, was charged with lewdness following an unusual incident early this month. Now, what would you do if you look in your ring camera and you see somebody standing there, you know, butt naked, you know, and they're trying to get in your door? They didn't say if it was a male or a female, but imagine if it's a female on the other side, live alone, and she see, you know, a naked figure outside, you know, or maybe she knew it was old Joe Budden, but she might have because she called the police. But now Joe Budden is sitting out there fumbling with the door, butt naked, trying to put the code in. So he in some high-rise joint, you know what I mean? And a lot of people trying to speculate that he might have been tweaking, you know, that he might have been on some of that dust, he might have been on crack, he might have been on meth, he might have been on all this. I don't think that's Joe Budden. Joe Budden got too much under the cap. And I had a family member that used to sleepwalk, and they would get up, move around, and you wouldn't even have a clue or idea that they would sleep because they moving and we used to sit back and watch them and laugh, right? Like, man, look at this fool. And the thing is, they don't walk into nothing. They walk around it and everything like if it's there. So, it could be plausible that that's what he was doing, right? On December 29th, 2024, right? That was just 2 days ago when when a Twitter account by the name of the October firm posted a screenshot of Button's arrest record with the caption, right? This is what it said in the caption, right? It says, at Joe Budden has a court date on January 16th for disorderly lewdness, a charge related to sexual misconduct or indecency in public. He previously claimed the JBP, that's the Joe Budden podcast, had to relocate for recording in a residential building, but there seems to be more to the story. So stay tuned. We're going to find out more what's going on with this story. But Joe Budden is out there, butt naked, trying doors, sleeping, Do you believe that? Or do you believe he was tweaking? Y'all put in the comments. I believe he was sleepwalking, but I'm just a journalist. I'm just reporting and I'm just making, saying what I know people is thinking, right? Because I get phone calls and texts because my number on the screen, it works, 917-680-9091, right? So, according to the statement, officers were called to an Edgewater apartment complex at approximately 7:21 a.m. after a resident reported a disturbing incident. I bet it was disturbing seeing a man butt naked in your hallway trying to get in your door at 7:21 in the morning. The caller, who was alerted by the doorbell camera, saw their neighbor, identified as Joe Budden Jr., standing completely naked outside their apartment door. What would you do if you saw Joe Budden standing completely naked out your door? Now, I want y'all to keep it 100 because we're going to ride a little bit. I want y'all to keep it 100 because I know a lot of ladies, they love Joe Budden with the baritone voice, sounding like a young Barry White. So you can't say, I will panic, I would get my gun, I would this. Some of y'all will open the door and let old Joe Budden in butt naked and might take advantage of him while he sleep. So keep it 100 and put it in the comments where you at, because we got a lot of ladies in here watching, Hey, and they said his new name is Joe Budden Naked. Joe Budden Naked. That's his new name, right? So now the video allegedly shows Budden attempting to enter a code into the resident's door keypad multiple times before retreating to his own apartment across the hall. So he done came out his door, went to another door. You think he might have been, like, while he was asleep, he sat there and was thinking about the neighbor. And then now while he's asleep, he's acting out his deep subconscious mind by going to the neighbor, thinking that he's going to have intercourse with this neighbor. You think it could have been it? Because, I put my, because we ride. I put my son on a show on IDTV called Fear Thy Neighbor, right? And I put him and his fiance up on it. They chilling, they watching the joint. And I'm like, yo, yeah, I watch this at night before I go to sleep, And it's good to go to sleep to it. And his female was like, man, what are you, crazy? I have nightmares if I watch this before I went to sleep. And I said, nah, it's not nightmares. I mean, you have a good thought of a little blood and violence while you sleep, And you like looked at me like I was crazy. But I'm traumatized, so, that's what I want to go to sleep to something crazy so I can have some crazy dreams, have my heart racing while I'm asleep, but I'm just a different type of person. Following an investigation, Budden Jr., right, was charged with lewdness, a disorderly person's offense under New Jersey State Law 2C 14-48. Now, Edgewater Police Chief Martin emphasized in a release that he gave to the public, these charges are merely accusations and the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, Joe Budden Jr. is scheduled to appear in court on January 16, 2025. Previously, Joe Budden mentioned on his show that he has that he was a sleepwalker, right? Button has yet to respond to the claims as of yet. Okay, so what do y'all think about this story? Do you believe this sleepwalker thing, or do you think when Joe Budden said that he had a sleep walking disorder, that he was setting it up because he knew he was gonna get butt naked and think that that neighbor was gonna open the door and let him in so that he could do what he got to do? Somebody put it in the comments. Joe Budden naked. What do you think of that? Somebody let me know. Do you think that him saying that he had a sleep walking disorder on his show ahead of time was a setup for that? Or do you think he was really just revealing one of his dark secrets or traumas? You know, like I just told you, I got plenty of them. I like to go to sleep to horror movies. You know, I just lay back and listen to them talk about the night slasher on a documentary, and it feel like somebody telling me a bedtime story, you know? But that's the type of stories I want to hear before I go to bed, just so you understand. But look at Joe Budden. Can you believe Joe Budden butt naked walking around in a luxury building trying to enter codes to get into an apartment? What do y'all really think about that? Definitely put it in the comments. Don't want to be here long. Just wanted to get y'all something real quick so that we can see what's going on. But y'all put it in the comments. I mean, do you think they might raise the charges, change the charges, or whatever with the charges? But before I go, let me ride and tell you one, right? I met a dude while I was doing my 26 years in federal prison, and he was locked up for sleepwalking and being a serial killer. They said that every night, right? He said every night he'll get up, he'll get his gun, and he'll go out and he'll go find, you know, a night walker female out there selling herself and, you know, get pleasured, you know, and then put two to the head and go back home and never woke up, didn't know what happened. A couple of days later, he go out, same thing. Now he got two bodies. Next day he got three bodies. And this was his routine. And that was his defense when he went to court. And they said, there's no way in heck you killed all them people that you ain't know. It ain't that much sleepwalking in the world. So they didn't buy that defense. You know what I mean? But I asked him, I said, yo, keep it 100, man. Was you just out there killing them women? What is it that made you feel that way, that you wanted to take a female's life? And he said, man, you know, I got molested when I was a kid and I hate them. He said he hate them hoes because he got molested. I said, but you a dude. You're supposed to enjoy it. It's not like you're a female. You know what I mean? Get over it. And I used to tease him, you know what I mean? Like, get over it. You know what I mean? You act like you're just not into women. And he said, yeah, well, now I'm not. I said, what do you mean now you're not? I said, either you are, you weren't, or you was, or you wasn't. And he said, man, I'm not with none of that, man. You know, they all deserve to die. I said, and you want me to believe you was sleepwalking and you sitting here telling me while you wide awake that all women deserve to die because you was molested as a child by a female? I said, my dude, where you at? I said, you don't think nothing is wrong with that? He said, no, ain't nothing wrong with me, something wrong with you. I don't know how you can sit here and talk about you feel that way about females. I said, why? You feel that way because you in prison? He said, no, I feel that way because I'm molested. I said, nah, I think it's a little deeper than that. And I used to always tease him and ask him, like, you know, the day, like, you know, if there was one female in the prison that you could unalive, you know, who would it be? And could you believe every day he said the same female? That's when I knew, y'all, he may be in a little trouble. You know what I mean? But bottom line is, he wound up getting, you know, stabbed up real bad, went to the SHU and got transferred to another institution, because if he would have stayed at that one, I think he might have did something to this female, because I'm talking about every day I tease him and ask him if there was one female that you could get rid of right now on the compound, who would it be? And it's not like you'll think that he might have got into it one the day before, you know, one earlier today, and we pick a different one every time. But no, they do pick the same female every time. I said, like, what did she do? You know? He said, what do you mean, what did she do? He said, just look at her. I said, what do you mean, look at her? He said, just look at her. This is how sick and twisted this dude was. So I'm like, yo, I see her, you know? He said, yo, She's so damn fine, she should be arrested. I said, arrested? I said, I thought you didn't like her. He said, because they need to arrest her before I'm unalive. You know? He said, if I was on the street, I'd been got rid of her. She's just too fine to be walking the earth. I said, you feel that a woman is too fine? So you, and I'm like, man, I had to rethink when my train of thought was no one deserved to be in prison, you know? Because I really believe this dude, and I told him, you know, needed to be institutionalized, you know? He said, but that's still prison. I said, nah, because they'll pump you with medication, have people talk to you all crazy, like you're crazy. You know what I mean? Because we know you're not crazy. You just, you know, you're just you. And he be like, yeah, but I think you bugging. I don't know how you don't understand where I'm coming from. I said, dog, you know, you got issues, man. And he spent the whole time trying to convince me he didn't have issues. And then here go that female walking down the hallway that he don't like. And his whole face tightened up like he was in a war with himself. But I was around a lot of shady characters, man, and that's how it played out. But, you know, back to Joe Budden. You know what I mean? And, you know, let me just tap out. Been on here long enough. I just wanted to come in and show y'all a little love, man. Happy New Year to everybody, man. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm going to do a live later on tonight. Let's get this joint popping. Let's get it out. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in hard. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block. Did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can get back to the
cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.